Hi, Sam. I'm Christina. It's nice to meet you.
Hi, how are you?
I'm great. I'm so excited to chat with you today. Congratulations on a great run on the Traitors. So sad to see you go. I know that you said that you were the least prepared going into the games. Knowing what you know now, what would you have maybe done differently?
You know what? I don't think I would have done anything differently because clearly the least prepared person kind of makes it the furthest. As you can see, I think some of the contestants on there have not prepared as much as some of the people that went home earlier did. I mean, it's just we had some of the biggest personalities in reality that knew this game, backwards and they studied this game, go home so early. So I wouldn't change anything, to be honest with you.
Definitely. You kind of were very quiet, maybe kind of flew a little under the radar for a little bit, but it seemed like you were starting to find your voice a little bit. Do you feel like that was kind of like your downfall? They're like, oh, wait, no, Sam knows what's going on here.
I don't think I had a downfall. I wouldn't put it that way. I had a glow up, as we call it, because I think it was the opposite of that. But it did, when you do have those moments, even in life, you get you put yourself in danger, and that's what happened. I spoke up. I had legitimate fact, and it was about to go down, and then the traders came after me. They should have recruited though. They would have lasted longer.
Yeah, if you were recruited as a trader, would you do it? Would you have
To
done
be
it?
honest, no, I wouldn't do it because it looks like they have to stay longer and lose more sleep. So I wouldn't want to lose more sleep than I did because in Scotland the sun goes down at 1 a.m. anyway. So I definitely want to get more sleep.
Yeah, were you ready
Maybe
to go? You were ready to go home then?
Yeah, I mean, no, it's not about ready to go home or not. I had a good time. It was perfect. I didn't want to, be this person that wanted to win the game, and I'm gonna, kill anybody that's gonna get in the way of me winning. It wasn't gonna be that. I definitely want to contribute to it, show my true self, and make some friends, and I didn't want to get to the end by not saying a word. I wanted to use that, use my whatever looks and perception into my advantage and not say anything for them to think that I'm, a dumb, a big dummy, and then make it to the end and surprise people with a little bit of strategizing and put some life experience to it, elbow grease to it. So it was good. It turned out really good.
Definitely. I know that you and Dylan like to recap the show together. So after you watched last night's episode, what was that conversation like? Especially with Carolyn getting eliminated. So what was those conversation like with Dylan?
We already talked about that, before. My latest conversation with Dylan was, "What are you wearing to the reunion?" That was my that was my last conversation with him. But it's just every time we talk about it, um, we have the same thoughts, and it's exciting because being part of the show is obviously different than watching it because you're not seeing the traders and they're not really talking. I did get to interview Carolyn for the extended episode, which I haven't seen yet, but I'm excited to see. But other than that, there's a lot of things that happen throughout the castle that unfortunately or fortunately get cut out because of what is making sense for the episode or not. So there's a lot of that me and Dylan played a badminton game that I beat him, by the way, um, really badly. I don't think he was even close uh, to my score, but those were left out. Nobody talks about.
No, definitely. Were there any other behind the scenes moments that you wish made the cut? Like maybe Sandoval's unhinged behavior, things like that?
I don't think. Well, I mean, his moments made TV. I think he's great. I'm really glad he was part of it. Um, but definitely watching someone just being this, the antagonist of Pink Panther. That's what I called him because that's what he looked like. It was just all over the place. It was fun. He made it an enjoyable moment, but he also took the eyes off of me, and he was the you know he was basically what I was portraying. and I was trying to do so, but I didn't want to talk as much as he did. But there was a lot of moments. I think his made TV, and there's a lot of moments. I mean, Ivor, we were talking to him, and out of nowhere, he says that he strategized the game, and his girls, his daughters, asked him how he strategized, and he said he used ChatGPT to try to strategize it, and it was just a fun moment because he's an older guy, and he was the only one that used such modern technology to strategize for the game, and it was just funny moment. He was super cute, and it was just I had a good time. I spoke to Nikki a lot about her son. She was missing her son a lot. She reminded me a lot of my sister. She's a strong woman, and I admire that. And it's just getting to know everybody was definitely the highlight of Scotland for me.
Yeah. Was it hard not having your phone, connecting with friends, girlfriends, things like that?
You know what? I had a good time. That was a nice moment, that I was disconnected. That's what I need. I'm not gonna say I needed that, but I think everybody needs that because we're so attached to our phones. And when you go back, as long as everything's taken care of, the dog is being fed and everybody else is, everything's being taken care of, then you go back and you're not really missing much. I don't have kids and I don't have, obviously I have other people that are involved in my life are grown up. So I didn't really, I didn't have obligations. So it was a good moment to take away from that and really focus on the game. And it was a fun time.
What do you make of Danielle's kind of over the top reactions? Sierra has spoken out, Chriselle has spoken out, saying that, she was swearing on her grandkids that she wasn't a traitor, things like that. What do you kind of make of Danielle and what she's going to have to do going forward now that she may or may not be recruiting Brittany?
You know what? I think looking at her it was a tough moment being in that castle because first of all, I think like I said before, I was the least experienced person on the traders, I think, in the reality world. And I wasn't quote unquote tripping uh, as much as she was. I mean, it must have been hard for me because I don't know what's going on. I don't even know these people. I don't know. But she's an experienced person that's been in the show that films her 247. Big Brother does film you 24/7, and she does really good. So she shouldn't be shaking and she shouldn't be crying. And I think when you cry, in acting, the best way to cry is when you actually stop yourself from crying. You kind of hide away. It's a vulnerable moment. And she was kind of not doing that. She was doing the opposite of that, which makes it a terrible actor. And also, it's when kids cry, they don't know how to communicate, so they want attention. She was crying for attention, and she was giving traders throughout the whole season. It just wasn't the right timing for us to get her. But she's playing hard and she's competitive, and I give her that. Uh, I think bringing Brittany as recruiting her is definitely a mistake. They should have recruited someone else, like an obvious faithful. It would take her much farther if she does that. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I think just watching the traders, they have such a terrible time communicating, trusting each other. I think killing me was bad, not because I went home. Obviously, I think last night's episode was absolutely terrible. By the way, the worst ever. Because
Why? Because you're
I'm
not
not.
there.
No, no, I'm joking. But I think, that whole murder, someone that obviously called you out, kind of got Carolyn out. She should have went with a recruitment, and they should have recruited someone that was extreme faithful. If they would have asked me, I would have turned it down because I wanted my sleep, and that's it. I think. I think. I think. I think everybody's playing a good game so far. I'm really rooting for Ivar, and everybody that's on there. Really, I'm rooting for them. That are not traders. I hope they get their. Well, I don't know if Tom is going to do that. Tom is just. I don't see Tom doing that. I mean, he voted for Dolores last night, which is absolute. I mean, Dolores did vote for Tom too, but I don't know.